Inte mi baonio in Hausa Sanu Inibu Kedu Kodi Orúkọ mi ni Òyìnbó Rẹ̀bẹ̀ Fuji Rọpọpọ Fuji Gyration. Listen attentively. Listen attentively. I am going to go to a Fuji chamber. Happy birthday, Nigeria. I need your booty, lady. Better mole camera. And they were upstanding commando. Nigeria, it's your paradise. It's your paradise.
As you dey nod your head to the beat, Akwa Ibom don't take over. DJ PJ says so.
My name na feelings. Akwa Ibom na my mama land. I hear everything where they hear you find. Afang soup where they for ya different from the rest. For education to read na a kite be the first. Now one no sabi say orange is sweet, yeah. Epan kuko where they hear is sweet, yo. Akwa Ibom state na my home, na my pride. I go love you till I die. Nya ko, nya ne, nya we. Ufan color me yo. Orange is my color. There's greatness in the nature. Ufan color me yo. Ya ikono gita idong tikwam. Ya fundi to kwa ibo me kobi ne mesido. Mbube yini kage to yire mbube o. Solo to tele wo Africa. We don't dey spend in dollars so. As we dey sing money dey enter la la. Koko, follow me yo. Have you ever wonder why people always come? Have you ever wonder why our Bible is so sweet, so sweet? Have you ever wonder why football they play for year like fire? My brother color me orange. Yeah. Listen to me sing. If you spell it A-K-A-W-A-I-B-O-M-O. Oh boy, now why you want to be this year, brother? That color me orange. Yeah. And no sucker don't feel. Color me yo. Why you color me? Orange is my color. Yes, greatness in the nature. If I color me yo. Why you color me? If I color me yo. Orange is my color. Yes, greatness in the nature. If I color me yo.
Sabika Jackson, ngelo bebe yansi yekelo. Na nu fori ari ande bere gwenga. Ego sawel. Ade kwangbaza. My forward say they go in MSF. If you like my style, oh, if you love my Ibom state, make you dance, make you rock, make you wind your waist. In our style, oh, color me, oh.
Ice King #1. Music na my bullion bando. America, the story. Abasi, I give you all the glory, you. But
They do like you know. That white bone with the best, yeah. No. When it comes to love, women, food and culture, that white bone they on top, yo. You the brothers, now we be the VIP. That white bone people, we get the ability. From zero to hero, now our identity. Hey, yo.
Why you can't panic? Why you can't panic? Follow me, you. Why you follow me? Orange is my color. Yes, greatness in the nature. Follow me, you. Follow me, you. Orange is my color. Yes, greatness in the nature. Follow me, you.
Anytime I look my left and right, yeah, child, you make me want to shout, lo, lo, lo. How you blessed us like this, yeah. Aquarium, that you have to waste salute you, oh. But my God, He bless us, He bless. Our future is bright, yeah, He bright. Oh, Father is grateful, oh. Baba, follow me, orange, yeah. Extra madana yara, oh yara Nigeria, now you them send. If we say this orange is sour, oh, you be winch, yo. Now, oh, orange na positivity, creativity, na just a be a quiet for we honesty. Eh, on you go get a 3 year begin, no. So, on you got the good one, yo. Oh, no, about the man is saying, you say,
Follow me, you. Why you follow me? Orange is my color. There's greatness in the nature. Follow me, you.
I don't hear and finish. Waiting go be. Akwa Ibom to the world. Taking over. Legendary DJ PJ.
I hear mix.
Live at the Hills. Team of Tony from Lagos, they are here having fun. Campfire zone. World Tourism Day. Eve.
Wonderful images. Don't forget COVID is still with us. So I still wear my mask. I still wear my shield. Keep wearing it. Let's set standards in tourism. We allowed you, we had Oyibo Rebel for you. We had the Akwa Ibom song. And we had Dubai also showing us our national colors on our national day. Then we had the tour operators announcing the World Tourism Day. at the Dere Hills announcing the World Tourism Day. This is an amazing edition coming on Sunday, and I thank you for joining us. I liked the Akwa Ibom thing, and I'll tell you why. When you have an impression of Akwa Ibom, people don't have contemporary images. The images they have in their perception is traditional, people dancing with. What that video has done is very, very important because it shows the contemporariness of Akwa Ibom of today with a wonderful airline, probably one of the best airlines in Nigeria, a massive airport, urban development. They are trying to tell you Akwa Ibom has arrived. So for the youth and for everybody else, this is wonderful for them. So welcome to this edition of our Niger 7 Wonders. This is the 14th edition of our Zoom webinar. And today we are having some heavy duty. People talk about safari, people talk about animals, people say we don't have those kind of things in Nigeria. You never asked. Now you're going to find out today. So today, we just celebrated World Tourism Day. It was done on mega levels. The first time in Nigeria that private players took over the World Tourism Day from government, and they were able to celebrate it all over. And the good thing about it is I'm so overjoyed that they are all members of our club, Tourism 100 Club, who got involved in doing this thing. And this is what we want to achieve. We want to prove that tourism is possible in this country. We must not be a tourism nation that exports people. We also want to have some big business going on. And I can tell you that it has taken off. Anybody telling you there is no domestic tourism in Nigeria, ignore them, they're ignorant. And you have no reason arguing with ignorant people. It has begun. Today, there are people all over Lagos at different beaches, at different resorts. And there are people on different levels in Abuja, in Enugu. We have started, we've cracked the egg, and the chicks are coming out of the egg. We've hatched it. It took us time, but I commend all of you that joined. So we're going to share images of what we did, of what people did all over the country on World Tourism Day, September 27. We were involved here with Lagos State. So we are going to show you clips of what our members did all over Nigeria. Then we are going to talk to Ine Udo, and we are going to talk to Namire to give us front view discussion, small clips of what they actually did and how we have established the tradition. We don't now have to wait for government to do World Tourism Day. This year, government was ready and we pulled it off. So just sit back and enjoy a little bit of these clips from the different destinations. A national park, all the officers are there, and one of my favorite persons will be on today. So why don't you sit back, enjoy these clips from the different locations. So those are our people in Badagry, and Badagry had the first time World Tourism Day celebration put together by different. I can see Jibola, I can see Muyiwa, the president of Anjet, and the whole group in Badagry, Akwata. Now this is Enugu. Itos, Wilson and Co put together a massive team in Enugu. They had people in partnership with the government. They even had masquerade. They had the big masquerade. They had Oja and the gong. Those are my favorite instruments now. And this was Enugu, and it was massive. And the fact that Enugu has caught onto this ball is a great news. So the likes of John Paul will now have people who will work with them and begin to bring tourism to the fore from the southeast. I like what happened. in Enugu, in Badagry. That's Idere Hill. Idere Hill is trending. And we thank our guy Sunday Benga who had pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. And Oyo State had their World Tourism Day celebration at Idere Hill. That's very good. And then in Lagos, we had a career, and we had all these beautiful women with our guy there having boat trip, regatta, and you could see those lovely faces. I wonder why it's the women that are all appearing in the pictures. They are the guys now. So, okay, I can see our lady Ime who will join us later. They had a big thing with the Oba at Ikare Kingdom. So we also had the Origin Zoo. I'm sure you don't know there's a zoo in Okorodu at Ipakodo by the jetty there. So our guy Taiwo went there and he had lots of pictures from the zoo, crocodiles, duikers, lots of animals that you never knew that were there. So please visit Ikorodu Zoo at Ipakudo at the jetty there. And that's Taiwo with the guide. So that was World Tourism Day last Sunday. It was an amazing experience. And we had the guys that went to Lakampai. I think Bolaji and Co went to Lakampai, and it was wonderful experience for them. They enjoyed. I can see them cruising on the water. And then Bella Maria and crew were at Lekki Conservation Center. I'm always seeing one guy with so many ladies. Is it bring one and get 3 ladies free, or what's going on here? So yeah, that's Bella Maria at Lekki Conservation Center. And this is one of the biggest secrets of Lagos. You have a forest reserve in Lagos that you don't know existed. Then this is Mana Resort in Abuja. And that's an Edi with I'm sure that elephant is not alive. If it's an elephant, nobody will stand in front there. Okay, president of EFTAN, NATO, NANTA, all of them at SCAR in Abuja, all of them at Mana Resort. They really had fun with the GM of the hotel. They hosted a stakeholders meeting organized, put together by NATO president. I had the president of the Travel Association. Then we had the private sector. We also had, and they even had the medical check where people came and doctors checked. And I heard that none of them were tested positive. That's good news. We don't need people with COVID in our industry. So we thank the doctor who supported this and the NATO president who put part of the stakeholders meeting. There was also another event at Nikkei Art Gallery. I like these guys. See how they look royal. See how they look very regular. I can see many Otumbas and Balogos in the picture. That's great. That's Nikkei Art Gallery. Then NTDC zonal office in Jos. Our own Nana had an event in Jos Plateau. And you see those lovely pictures that we see of all those rocks. Those are courtesy of Nana. And this is the event NTDC hosted in Jos on World Tourism Day. And our own guy from Oyo, Omotosho, I think, Kwara State, sorry, that's him alone on the rock. I think he had his fun on his own. No problem. You can also do it on your own. Just celebrate World Tourism Day. It doesn't have to be a group thing. Then Osun State. Osun is one of the rising powers. That was Captain Losbridge's event at, I think, Owala Dam. And amazing. I think he's in charge of the Osun Tourism Initiative, and they pulled out something very grand. So I commend all these guys who put together events. That's at Zuma Rock with Dan Tata and our Abuja ladies. I can see they even had a shobi. That's beautiful. That's a good thing at Zuma Rock. That day they hiked. That's them walking up the hill. And look at that picture of the rock, the famous Zuma Rock behind them. It's an amazing site, and they really had fun. So and for those who didn't do or who didn't participate in it, you can join next year. So,
Talking drums and shakira combination. I see people under the tambourino dancing. I guess there is a celebration. Mama, wa loco, loco, loco. Baba, I'm the only one at home. All I want to do now is dance the wombo lumbo. So I lock up and keep Kokorola Begondo. Where do they have to? Yeah. Come see my picking at the Arugo de Dan Bolombo. Bombo Lombo. Bombo Lombo. Bombo Lombo. Bombo Miori and the Caramillo. Bombo Lombo. Go for any yes of me, pony your come back. Honey, body, body, and the Caramillo. Ile oni chocolate oro. Bombo Lombo. Oni no care come to a
At the event, which was held both physical and virtual, participants acknowledged the effect of COVID-19 on the sector, thus stressing the need to use the opportunity of not traveling abroad to attract local tourists to Lagos State. Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Uzamat Akimbile Yusuf, pointed out that the state is blessed with numerous untapped resources.
Since the event of the pandemic, we've looked inwards and tried to promote tourism inwardly, because many people are not opportune to travel from one part of the world to another, and the best we can achieve is to domesticate tourism.
The Honorable Commissioner has hinted that the J.K. Randall Center will be finished. I think that will be a beautiful thing. Whether tourists come from elsewhere or from here, that will be an important edifice that will speak to the interest of Lagos as far as tourism is concerned.
The Commissioner further reiterated that the Ministry is working on having a documentary of all the tourism sites which will be uploaded online for both local and foreign tourists.
We are having a website where to position all the tourism attraction sites in Lagos State for people. Many Lagosians does not even know where this tourism attraction site is and how they can actually access the place seamlessly. And those are the things Lagos State government is trying to put in place, and we are having best way to market Lagos State as a tourism attraction destination.
Looking into domestic tourism. Domestic tourism, if we can focus on that in Lagos State, it will create job, it will create employment, and it will promote Lagos State at large. We have so many tourism destinations in Lagos that is where we are looking. We have major focusing on that.
The Oniru of Iru Land, Oba Gbolahan Lawal, while giving his virtual goodwill message, commended the initiative of the State Ministry of Tourism to develop tourism sites across the state. He advocated protection and projection of the tourism sites and tradition, just as he called for due recognition of August 21st every year as Isheshe Day.
Isheshe Day is a good opportunity for us to showcase the culture and tradition of Lagos, or Yoruba to the entire world. And it is based on this that I want us to see how Lagos State can continue to do well in the tourism space.
The celebration with the theme Tourism and Rural Development witnessed contributions and participation from tourists across all the 5 divisions of the state who connected via Zoom to share their thoughts.
Thank you. That was the Lagos State hybrid event, the first hybrid that we do. Everything now is virtual, but people still need to come together. So with partnership with the Lagos State, that we help put that virtual conference together. People joined us from 10 different locations. So we'll go straight to what we are going to do today. But before then, we want Ime to share with us what Tourism Day is important to tourism. So we want to let people recognize the fact that a day was put aside to celebrate. So is Ime there so that we can have you on to share with us what you put together in Lagos for the World Tourism Day?
Yeah. Okay, good afternoon and happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you so much, Ambassador Ikechi, for this program, and thank you for having me on again, and to your entire team. World Tourism Day, like we know, is a day where we actually celebrate tourism. It's a day where we bring to the fore the importance of tourism, to any nation, to any country, to any locality. And just like UNWTO does, every year there's always a theme attached to the celebration. This year, with the theme, tourism and rural development, we decided to focus on tourism in the rural area and then see how we can sensitize the rural communities about tourism and how they can leverage on tourism to promote commercial activities, peace, and all of that within the area. And the association, Nigeria Association of Tour Operators, thought that we should, at this point in time, reach out to other tour operators. So what we did was a collaboration with a few other tour operators, and we are grateful to everyone who worked with us. We all came together, to fund the challenge, and then went ahead and then chose Ikare. The reason why we chose Ikare as our focus for this year's tourism celebration, World Tourism Day celebration, was because we realized that Ikare community is a community that is surrounded by a lot of tourism attractions. We have a lot of beach resorts along the entire coast, a lot of that. And we were not sure how much that has positively affected that community. So we decided to visit that community, and we put together a group of us came together, raised some money, amongst ourselves collectively, decided to sow a seed into the community, cash-wise, visited the Oba, visited the chiefs and the entire community. And on the day of World Tourism Day, it was a beautiful day. We were received by a boat regatta. They welcomed us, cultural dances, masquerades, the chiefs and all the local people around the area all came out to receive us very warmly. It was the time where we entered into, I don't know if we have those pictures, we went into the Elba's Palace. We were received there by dances. The Elba told us a little bit about the kingdom, and then followed us to, went with us, organized some kind of okay. That's a picture of us communicating. Yeah, we were interacting with the community here, trying to tell them about the importance of tourism and how they can leverage upon tourism within the area. The kind of things they can do, little gifts, little crafts, things they can do that can help bring money to them with all that is around them. How they can leverage upon tourists, because we found out that most of those resorts along that coast, along the entire coastline, usually are filled every weekend. And so we said, if we have such volume of traffic coming in that direction every weekend, then it was time for the community to leverage upon that, become very warm, become very hospitable. So we went and we tried to interact with them. We spoke to them one after another, how they can leverage on that, how they can become hospitable, how they can become creative, coming up with things that people can buy, artifacts that people can buy and travel back with, saying that they came to Ikare Kingdom. Things that will make Ikare Kingdom memorable, so that people would always want to come back and visit them. We told them we gave them ideas on things they can do And that as we were visiting that day ourselves, we were not happy, we were not going back with anything in particular that we can put in our house to say, this is what we got when we came to Ikare Kingdom. And by the time we finished discussing with them, interacting with them, dancing with them, they were so excited. They were so happy. They were so excited at our visit. It was almost getting into a point of tears. You could see the community were all, for us, we thought to ourselves, this could have been a long time they received guests like this in that community. And they were so excited. The Oba himself was so excited. He celebrated the day with us, with the entire chief. He was with us the whole day. They came out, they did all kinds of programs. But one thing that, we were happy about was the fact that the community was, they were so happy. What they did, they said to us, we promise you, by the time you come back for your next visit, you will not go back empty-handed. There is so much we can make. There is so much we can do from all that God has given us around us. From the coconut trees, there's so much crafts we can make using the coconut leaves. There's so much we can do from the fish and all of that. It was a beautiful day, and they promised us, by the time you come next time, you're not leaving back. We are going to do a lot for you. You're going to come and see the kind of things, the kind of crafts we can do. And so for us, we're looking to going back to visit that community again as a challenge. We want to ensure that we get them to understand that tourism is indeed a business and that they can leverage upon that and turn around the community. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing to life the message of the World Tourism Day. And I'm happy that you guys, the people had fun, and that with all those beaches there and those resorts, the villagers should be providing entertainment regularly for them. So thank you for this. I will go over to Abuja, and we have Namire, who is going to join us to share with us our own experience in Abuja. Then we'll go to national parks. Don't miss that. Is Namure there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity again. My name is Namure Irahon. I work with Bricks Travels in Abuja. So for the World Tourism Day event, myself, Peace, Area of Peaceful Skies, EDC Travels, we came together and figured, okay, let's do something, of course, under Nigeria 7 Wonder, and see what we can put together for World Tourism Day. Because of course, we're excited that, this is the theme of the World Tourism Day is developing rural areas and all that. So we figured this was very timely, considering where Nigeria was at this time and the opportunities we had to promote domestic tourism. So we chose for the 26th and 27th, and the 26th or Saturday, we chose Zuma World Resort. Zuma World Resort is a resort just opposite the Zuma Rock. It's a really, really spectacular destination. So on the morning of Saturday, we had a short road trip for about 45 minutes to the Zuma Rock Resort. We're welcomed by the owner of the resort, and he gave us a brief history of Nigeria, how Abuja came about, the location, how we even have the Abuja map, the center of it, and that was where Zuma Rock is. Of course, we know that they say the center of Nigeria is Katampe Hills, but now it's been argued that Zuma Rock is the center of Nigeria. But I'm sure that's a different topic for another day's deliberation, not today. But all the same, we had certificates given to us after we had learned about the history of Abuja and the Zuma Rock, which is sitting very just in the middle of. If you look at the Abuja map, you see how it has like a center V shape. So the Zuma Rock is just there. So after that, we had certificates, and then we went on a short hike. So while we were there, we had 2 hikes. One was on a hill, and the second one was on a crushed rock. Now, what was very spectacular about the hikes was everywhere we were, every particular place we were on the resort, we had the face of the Zuma Rock directly behind us. So it kind of formed like a backdrop, and it made the hike really interesting. If you can see the picture now, everywhere we were, we could see the face of the rock behind us. So we had the hike. We got to the top. We played games like Sway, Ayo on the ground. We had so much fun, and we even had the locals roast corn for us. So we even had roasted corn right there at the place. Then I think after we spent about a few hours there, even the president of EFTAN was there with us, and then we headed back to Abuja. And then on the second day, people met up again at Mana Resort and had Nigerian delicacies, refreshments, and all of that. And then we left. Yeah, so this is a picture of some of us on the rock. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So this again was one of the hills where you could see the picture behind. Everyone was really excited that, oh wow, we could always have the face of the rock behind us. So it was really exciting for us. Thank you.
Congratulations. I didn't know you can jump that high anyway. You look like you guys, you're in trampoline. That's amazing. That's very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let people know that the pictures that we showed were not copied from somewhere, that real
not
people
at all.
actually had fun. So
yes,
thank you for that. And that's all. There'll still be videos and pictures at the end of the show of some of those places, but we go straight to the business of today, national parks. And for national park, I had invited Dr. Adejumo, who was a former Minister of Agri. And while he was former Minister of Agri, he was in charge of the national parks. And this is his message to me, which I'm going to read before I call the CG of the national park to join. Dr. Adejumo was supposed to be our guest today. He says, Ikechi, I'm unable to eventually join you because I wanted to be on this discussion with the national park. Please, my unreserved congratulations and support for this initiative. Our national parks are indeed vital products, which indeed run parallel to our national, natural, cultural values. These two form the impeccable pillars of our domestic tourism development for now. I like that. Nigeria is well endowed with enriched fauna and flora. Our biodiversity is none compared to any country in the world. This is depicted in our multi-vegetation belts, which hardly can be found anywhere else in the world. Unfortunately, Nigeria does not only lack sensitivity to all these values, but has not been able to inculcate the optimal advantages to our economy through development of ecotourism, rural tourism, safari tourism, and even agro-tourism. As I earlier put it, our national parks present very vital products for our domestic tourism development at this time. And I wish government should view this with critical importance. They are going to post this on the chat so you all see it. And I happen to have been involved in propelling Yankari and Kainji as the major arrow of our national tourism development as far back as 1978, when I was in charge of the Nigerian Tourism Board. I extended this interest and efforts to when all the national parks were under my control as a minister in the Ministry of Agriculture in the late 1990s. I was able to put these two under the national grid successfully. That means he put them, then it was NEPA. He linked them to the national grid for electricity. And I created accessible roads to them. We are able to put poaching under considerable check. And these two parks were open, not only to extensive domestic tourism, but to intensive international tourism. Today, I do not know the status of these parks. Other parks, such as Old Oyo, have their values and potentials which should be harnessed. Old Oyo should not work in isolation of culture and the Ministry of Information and Culture. They have some values in common, which must be centered and promoted together. Is Nigeria aware of this Queen of Sheba and her fortune places in Nigeria under our very nose? What is wrong with us in Nigeria? All these things we have highlighted in the National Master Plan, which is now in the home of cobwebs somewhere. I salute you, all my officers, leading the fight to paint our national parks in good light. You should not be despondent, however difficult it may be. You are managing nature, and definitely nature will fight its way to survival because it's God's own creation. Translating nature to human use is the essence, and it is cash in hand. The handlers of this initiative are on the right track. I wish us all good luck. Dr. Franklin Adejuwo, former minister in the Ministry of Tourism. That is his goodwill message. Dr. Adejuwo is the first commissioner of tourism in Lagos, Home Affairs of Tourism, 1990-92. And he was a former president of EFTAN, and he was a former minister who was in charge of the national parks. So that's, we're also going to share it back again. They will copy it and paste as a chat, and eventually the media will carry it and it will be on our platform. So we go straight to the matter of the day, national parks. And our first guest today will be the CG himself. This is a man of action, and I rather leave you to make your impressions of him. Can we have the CG of National Park video spotlight on him so that we can go ahead? Sir, are you on board?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm on board, Mr. Ikechi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikechi and your team, the Akwaba team. And I want to start by acknowledging our relationship, how it all started and where we are today, and the fact that we have been able to sustain this relationship for us. It has actually not been a small thing. For you to organize this webinar solely for the purposes of bringing into focus the National Park Service, I think it is a well commendable effort. And like you have said, this is not only moving domestic tourism forward, it is also a way of strengthening domestic tourism. I didn't know I would be able to make it to this place to attend this webinar. That is why I have arranged that the head of department in charge of ecotourism, Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo, will represent me in case I was not able to make it. Now, let me quickly give a highlight overview of our national parks in this country. And also, in the course of the overview, I'll be able to answer the question raised by the former Honorable Minister, Franklin Adejuwo, as to whether the status of the two national parks that benefited from the national grid are something to mention about. Then Kolo will run over the slide, but I'll just give a brief overview of our national parks. So our national parks experiment started in 1979 with Kanji Lake National Park. And thereafter, in 1991, 5 national parks were added. So with the addition of the national parks in 1991, then Nigeria had 6 national parks as at 1999. In 1999, 2 additional national parks were added, meaning that Nigeria has 8 national parks as at 1999. In 2004, Yankari was degazetted from the status of a national park to a game reserve. And since 2004, we have maintained 7 national parks. 7 national parks, covering a total land area of 22,000 square kilometers. So I will, at this junction, call on Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo to continue. I'm sorry that because Mr. Ikechi has said that from the comments or remarks I will make, people will be able to determine what type of man I am. So I hope with this little remark, I've been able to at least tell you the type of stuff that is in me. So please be attentive and listen to Assistant Conservator General Yakubu Kolo. I hope Yakubu Kolo is on. Yeah.
So I didn't know what you said about the national park being on the grid.
Action to unmute, sir.
Unmute yourself.
It's not unmuting, the host is not allowing. Oh, yeah.
Okay, sir. We need to hear about the national park. About them being on grid.
Okay.
It's unmute again. I'm not the one doing it.
Unmute me, okay. Concerning the 2 national parks that have benefited from the national grid, first and foremost, let me extend our appreciation to the former Honorable Minister. It has been a giant stride because today, not only the 2 national parks are benefiting from that national grid, all the communities along that route are of course benefiting from that national grid. That is one wonderful thing the former Honorable Minister has done for not only the National Park Service, but for the communities of Bauchi and Niger states. Today, Yankari has been degazetted and is now the property of the Bauchi state government. But even then, the national grid still runs. That has saved the country a lot of gas flaring, mitigating climate change, and of course providing clean air to visitors whenever they are there, because generators are no longer used in such places. Same thing applies in Kanji, though from time to time there are intermittent power outages, and such is always complemented with the use of generator, but at least to a significant level, the increase of ozone gas into the atmosphere is reduced by virtue of this national grid. So thank you very much. This is the status of the national park. Today, Kanji has remained our premier national park, and it is providing the needed services of ecotourism, ensuring that the animals and the plant resources are at least prospering, and it is waiting to be explored by visitors. And this is where your connection is needed to be able to at least ensure that domestic tourism actually strive well in these places. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. We'll be working together with you to make sure that these places succeed. I'm told that Kainji is ready to roll. And though what I saw on TV yesterday wasn't encouraging, the Niger road, Niger State Governor was complaining, but we'll come there. We'll take care of the advantage. We'll take advantage of the relationship we have with you, bring tour operators to those your national parks, and get the business going. Thank you, sir. Before Kolo joins us, we are going to play a little video of the national park headquarters and show people that your office is actually also a park or a reserve. So if you're in Abuja and you can't go to the national parks, you can visit the national headquarters of the National Park Service. So why don't you join us? So Kolo can get ready to take over. Okay, Kolo can take over while we get the video ready to share with us. Okay, I think they have it now.
At the national park, they preserve and protect the nation's natural heritage, which are wildlife, animals, and indigenous plant species, in order to memorialize them across generations. On my arrival, it was a warm reception, but I'm hoping the animals At the national park, they preserve and protect the nation's natural heritage, which are wildlife, animals, and indigenous plant species, in order to memorialize them across generations. On my arrival, it was a warm reception, but I'm hoping the animals here will also be friendly to me. Well, we will soon find out. There are other national parks across Nigeria in 7 different states, which include the Kanji Lake, Gashaka Gumti, Old Oyo, Chad Basin, Cross River National Park, Kamuko located in Birnin Gwari, and Okomu located in Ovia, southwest local area of Edo State. The National Park headquarters has different sections. The mini park is stocked with wild animal species such as duiker, gazelle, kob, crocodile, porcupine, and ostrich. I love adventure, but I can't do this alone. Hello. So let's go in together.
Anybody here?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
You are welcome. This is the mini park in the National Park headquarters.
This is the biggest ostrich I have ever seen.
They are running. It's the biggest bird we have.
I was also made to understand that most of the animals went into hiding on sight in our cameras. On the contrary, I am supposed to be the one hiding.
So there are
snakes here. They are part of the ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
And you lead the way. You will lead the way.
Okay. So during a hot sun, as you are now, most of the animals are there. But as we are going, if you look at some of the shady places, you may see some of the animals resting.
Okay.
Are you with me? But if you have come as early as in the morning, you see them grazing and browsing, or late evening. See there, it has gone very far. As a duiker, the ability of that animals to the environment to which you are bringing it. Secondly, the essence of the mini park is to showcase some of the sample of animals we have in the various national parks across the country. However, in bringing them, we know we have different species of animals. The one we brought it are friendly animals. Like the grey duiker, as you can see, is a small antelope. The standinko is a medium-sized antelope. So most of the animals we have are friendly animals. They are not harmful. One of the animals we have in the mini park is the dwarf crocodile. And we have different species of crocodile, and we have the Nile crocodile.
This is the porcupine's cage. I need to see what it looks like. What do you think?
Wait.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Ouch. Out of the mini park, I headed for the animals' orphanage. Interestingly, animals too have an orphanage.
Take this one, you take this one, take this one.
It has animals that are rescued from poachers and sometimes donated to the park by people who are nature-friendly.
We don't buy, we don't sell. All these animals were being confiscated from other parks for rehabilitation and for future purposes.
Okay.
So that the incoming children will know how the animals look like when they grow up. But if we don't confiscate them, they will all die, and we will not have wildlife here. We will not know how the monkey look like when we get to the future.
This tortoise is 162 years old, the oldest I have ever seen. History is always important and interesting when it's been told, which leads us to the Museum of Natural History. It exhibits a wide range of historical wildlife trophies and artifacts on various wildlife animals. The arboretum has mainly indigenous plant species that are being conserved for genetic resources.
My mic is on. Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Kechi, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity at the National Park Service. And most importantly, I want to thank the Conservator General for giving me this opportunity to represent and read his paper on his behalf, even though he has later joined us before the commencement of the program. And want to also to spot out that already during the introduction of the Conservator General, he has highlighted already the first two slides. So not to waste much time, I don't want to go into that. He has done the introduction of the national park, the establishment of the national parks, and also the sizes of the national park, the Conservator General has earlier mentioned all those ones. Therefore, I want to go straight to attraction based on the slide before you. The 7 national parks in the country have beautiful landscapes and diverse scenic ecosystems that provide unique opportunities for local and national tourists to experience active outdoor recreation, inspirational and tranquility. Apart from revenue generating to the Federation, the tourism direction of the Park Service also provides meaningful and realistic opportunities for the local communities to engage and benefit from ecotourism. Modest accommodation and recreational facilities exist in most of the national parks for visitors to engage in wilderness experience and game viewing, as well as sport fishing, boating, bird watching, etc. accessibility to the national parks. Most of the national parks are accessible by road and air, except for Chad Basin National Park and Kamuku National Parks. All these parks are open to activities at the moment. Okay. And in terms of this accessibility, I also had Ikechi mentioning, talking about Niger State roads. Abuja to Minna is a horrible nightmare for tourists and travelers along these routes. Bida to Minna is worst of all. At the moment, no roads leading to Bida as I'm talking to you now. I've been traveling to Niger State for the past 2 weeks. Every week I get to Minna, I can't get to Bida because of the trailer trucks that are, and the federal government is also trying to intervene immediately. The Excellency Governor had a meeting with His Excellency Muhammad Buhari yesterday, and we believe that immediately the government of the country will intervene to ensure that movement along these routes are possible, and thereby parks like Kainji National Park from Abuja and other routes along this road will be able to will be accessible immediately. Tourist influx from 2017 to 2019, the data we prepared for this program was just for 3 years. We have 8,111 visitors in 2017, 10,371 in 2018, while in 2019, 11,487. These low figures might not be unconnected to some of these challenges we have mentioned that you are going to see ahead, like the issue of banditry, insecurity along our routes, and some of the national parks as well. You are all aware what is happening in Kamuku, Chad Basin National Park, where Boko Haram have taken over some of these areas. And then we are also
We can't hear you, sir. Can you unmute yourself? Raise your volume. Raise your voice. The image is frozen. We can't hear you, so we'll come back to you. And I think we have to go to Calabar. Is the lady on? My favorite national park controller, Captain Loluri. Is our lady from Calabar on? Can you see her? Caroline Olori. Okay, I think we'll share a video of the national park while we try to track them. So sit back and enjoy this video. It's a repeat of the last one anyway.
National Park, they preserve and protect the nation's natural heritage, which are wildlife, animals and indigenous plant species, in order to memorialize them across generations. On my arrival, it was a warm reception, but I'm hoping the animals here will also be friendly to me. Well, we will soon find out. There are other national parks across Nigeria in 7 different states, which include the Kanji Lake, Gashaka Gumti, Old Oyo, Chad Basin, Cross River National Park, Kamuku located in Birnin Gwari, and Okomu located in Ovia, southwest local area of Edo State. The National Park headquarters has different sections. The mini park is stocked with wild animal species such as duiker, gazelle, kob, crocodile, porcupine, and ostrich. I love adventure, but I can't do this alone.
Hello.
So let's go in together.
Anybody here?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
You are welcome. This is the mini park in the National Park headquarters.
This is the biggest ostrich I have ever seen.
They are running. It's the biggest bet we have.
I was also made to understand that most of the animals went into hiding on sight in our cameras. On the contrary, I am supposed to be the one hiding.
So there are
snakes here. They are part of the ecosystem.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
And you lead the way. You will lead the way.
Okay. So during a hot sun as you are now, most of the animals are there. But as we are going, if you look at some of the shady place, you may see some of the animals resting.
Okay.
Are you with me? But if you have come as early as in the morning, you see them grazing and browsing. Or late evening, you see them browsing. See there. It has gone very far. As a diker, the ability of that animals to the environment to which you are bringing it.
Okay.
Secondly, the essence of the mini park is to showcase some of the sample of animals we have in the various national parks across the country.
Thank you for that. We'll go straight to one of the best parks in the country, Gashaka Gumti National Park. Gashaka Gumti, all of you that see those amazing pictures of Mambila, of Shapawadi, of all those out of this world places, they are from Gashaka. They are from Gashaka Gumti National Park. So we are going straight to Gashaka Gumti, and CP, are you ready for us? Gashaka Gumti, are you ready? Okay, go ahead. Unmute him. He's ready. So let's go to Gashaka. We'll come back to Alaji Kodo. Go ahead, sir. You're live.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So tell them want to share the screen. Please, I want to share the screen.
Okay. No, we are controlling it from here. Go ahead. We have your paper. We'll put it on. Go ahead, sir. Show me. Go ahead, sir. We are listening to you. Can you make him co-host? Go ahead. Sir, you are in charge now.
Thank you. First of all, I want to appreciate the.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the Conservation General, the Nigeria National Park Service, for giving me the opportunity to be on this platform. I also want to thank the.
Okay, good. Okay, I know Gashaka Gumti is far from Lagos, where we are coming from, and problems of network are beginning to manifest. So let's go back to Abuja and go back to our Oga Kolo to take over again. When we have him back on network, we will come back to him. So, sir, you're back on. Please unmute Kolo for us.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sorry, we had some technical issues, but we are back online.
Thank you.
As I was saying earlier, internally generated revenue between 2017 and 2019 You could see in 2017, we had 26,945,000. And in 2018, we had an increase to 60 million. But 2019, it dropped to 41,322,000. This also might not be unconnected to some of the challenges that we're going to mention ahead, like the issue of insecurity, bad road network, and these are really affecting patronage to some of these national parks. And I believe we will improve during the post-COVID era. We believe that National Park is working ahead to see, as we are going to see in some of the slides ahead, that we are working hard to see how we're going to come up with good and fantastic tourism activities for the national parks. Efforts in enhancing tourism in the parks. Under the security, we have joint operations and intelligence sharing with some sister agencies like military, civil defense, police, across the parks. We have this collaboration to ensure that there is enough intelligence as far as insecurity is concerned around the parks. Tourist facilities, accommodation, park viewing vehicles, catering services, sick bays are also available in some of these parks, and we are trying to improve on most of them at the across the parks. Media advocacy, all of you will believe that with me that our Conservator General is not scared of media. It's always online, both social media, television, radio. At any point in time, he's called upon to talk about national park is on point. So under this media advocacy, we have interpersonal and mass media marketing and promotion efforts, involvement of mass media for public enlightenment, partial commercialization. 3 national parks, namely Cross River, Gashaka, Gunti, and Kainji Lake National Parks, are pilot scheme with a transaction advisor appointed by to guide the process through the BPE. Then at the park headquarters in some of these, to add to some of the effort we are making, at the park headquarters, we have added development of children playground at the park headquarters to boost children visitation to this park, to the park headquarters. It's part of it. We are also happy to announce to you, Mori, Namore, Bricks Travel are one of our partners in terms of improving the tourism activity at the park headquarters here. For the past 1 month, they have been camping, bringing in tourists that are interested in camping at the park headquarters, and a lot of activities goes along with that camping. Challenges: insecurity in most part of this country, poor park infrastructure, accessibility to and within the parks, lack of private sector involvement, poor domestic tourism by Nigerians, poor communication facilities in the park, low manpower development, lack of disposal income to embark on leisure travel, lack of political will to enhance conservation and foster ecotourism development as alternative source of government revenue. What are the way forwards? Some of the way forwards we are working on and developing are: the present effort to improve security should be enhanced in terms of insurgency and banditry, downgrading and good road network development both inside and outside the parks. Government should make deliberate, concerted efforts to develop national parks to bring ecotourism to stream as an additional source of government revenue, especially now that so many nations are gradually disengaging from the use of fossil fuel. The national parks are open for private sector participation, especially through the partial commercialization program of the federal government. Spirited individuals and organizations can also come to the aid of the National Park Service by donating projects and programs that will foster conservation and ecotourism in our national parks. And going forward on our slide, you will have seen some of the areas already developed at the park headquarters and some of the national parks. We have the gazebo at the park headquarters. You could see a fantastic place where visitors do come during weekends to relax and celebrate at events at the park headquarters. We have photographs of campers, holiday seekers on camp out at the park headquarters, which I mentioned recently, Namore Brisk Travel organized, which by next week we're also expecting another group through them to see those beautiful pictures. You can also see the mini park at the park headquarters. You see the ambassador of the United Nations there. I mean, United States of America being conducted through the park by the Conservator General. Some of the photographs also are challenge of Cross River National Park, the Tree House, the Bulatura Oasis, and then, last but not the least, the proposed hotel resort development at the park headquarters along Airport Road. You could see the design, the CG has put so much effort to ensure that this piece of land that we still have lying fallow at the headquarters has a very fantastic structure that comprises a hotel, event halls, and then meeting halls. You could see the design displayed there. And this at the moment where is awaiting partnership through this webinar meeting. I believe some of those partners, investors that are watching and participating will come around the national park to see how we can put our hands together to invest on these projects and see how we can move the national park forward. At this point, I wish to commend the effort of government, most especially Muhammad Buhari, for the efforts, and the Honorable Minister for what they are doing to ensure that national parks is put to limelight. You are aware that we are a paramilitary organization now, and the CG is seriously collaborating, and to see how the national park will also be part of the security architecture of this country through the Honorable Minister and the Council. I want to thank you very much for listening, and we await questions. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my big boss, Kolo, for that presentation. And it's very, very instructive to see that in 2019, you had your highest number of tourists to the national parks, but the number is very small, 11,000 thereabout. I believe that in a partnership with your organization, by December 2021, we should have tripled that number to get more people into the national parks. But now, what I saw on TV yesterday was the bad road to Niger State. I saw the governor lamenting, and if we need to get to this national park, which I'm told is prime, we need that road working. For those of us in Lagos, we don't have problem. We can come from Kwara State. But I thank National Park for this collaboration with the Seven Wonders, and that in the next 1 year, we should be able to get more tour operators to do tours to these places. And we need to know a lot more about this. So thank you for that. Please, we are going to share his presentation to be both on the website. We are going to also share on the WhatsApp groups, different ones. So please sit back while we link back to Gashaka Gumti. Gashaka Gumti has the highest point in the country. And Lagos is one of the lowest points in the country. So you can understand why we are having this network connection. So, sir, please unmute yourself. We are back on. We welcome you back. Go ahead, sir.
So thank you very much for having me again. Sorry for the earlier interruption. Just to start over again, I want to first of all thank the Conservation General for making my participation in this conference possible. I also want to thank the Seven Wonders for ensuring that discussions on tourism is held at a time when Nigeria is looking for alternative sources of revenue. So I believe with this move, a lot of discussions will be held and we'll be able to discuss further on how to improve on our tourist destinations. Well, first of all, let me say that it is not by accident that Gashaka Gumti National Park is one of the 3 national parks that is in this conference today. This is because the park is the largest conservation enclave. It is the most diverse in terms of biological diversity, that is the fauna and flora, and it is the most scenic of all the parks in the country. In fact, it is the most diverse of all protected areas in Nigeria today. The park, covering an area of 6,730 square kilometers, is located between Adamawa and Taraba states. The park has 5 ecological zones. These are the scrub savanna, the Sudan savanna, the lowland forest, mountain forest, and the grasslands. And these ecological zones give rise to a variety of animal and plant communities. Next slide. Next slide, please. Tourist attractions. Due to the various ecological zones that I mentioned earlier, the 5 different vegetation zones, the park has a wide array of species. In fact, the bird species national park is listed among the important. The park is one of the important bird areas, which is important in the conservation of birds globally. Mammal species in the parks are about 103. The fishes are 55. Reptiles 22, amphibians 7, and over 1,000 species of plants. Some of the representative animals are shown on the slides. The red river hawk, the giant forest hawk. In fact, the giant forest hawk is one of the animals that is endemic to Gashaka Gumti National Park. Others are the bush bug, hawks, and another species which is very important in conservation in Gashaka Gumti National Park is the chimpanzee. And the population of chimpanzees are only found in parts of Gashaka Gumti National Park. The tourist attractions continues. One of the important rivers that attracts visitors to the park is the Mayokam River. Around October of every year, that's around this time, you observe that there's a lot of migration of fish species along this river. So around October of every year, you observe a lot of this migration of these fish species. The site, the Mayokam River, is also a very important site for swimming, for fishing, and for other ecotourism activities. Now, another important attraction in the park are the historical sites. And these sites, please back to the former slide. Back to the former slide, please. Yes, I was talking about the historical sites. Now, the park as what we call the German, the French, and the English forts. These forts were ruins of the pre-colonial era, where during the First and Second World War, there were walls that were created to protect ruins of these German and French and English forts are still found in Gashaka National Park. The slide below there shows you the remains of the German forts. Next slide, please. Next slide. The Gambian Mountains is another important the highest peak in Nigeria. In fact, the mountain, the Gambian Mountain, is the highest peak in Nigeria, covering an area of meters that is 2,419 meters above sea level. Is the highest peak in Nigeria. And these sites are also very important for mountaineering. They are also important sites for
Okay, now we go to the highest point in Nigeria and the network starts having problems. Okay, you're back. He's back. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. We are listening. It's off. The network from Gashaka Gumti. Okay, unmute yourself, sir. We can hear you now. I know you are high up in the mountain.
Sorry, it was interrupted by a call. Are you with me, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, as I was saying, the Kwano Forest is a very important site for private watching, apart from other species of wildlife. Then the hot springs, these are sites of special conservation significance. These springs are believed to have some healing properties by the locals, though this thing has not been really substantiated, but the springs are believed to have some very important healing properties, which the locals believe that had some very important value. So the area is also an important site for habitat where the animals come in to drink during the dry season. The waterfalls, there are several waterfalls in the park. The most fascinating about all these waterfalls is that they are located throughout the park. Some are found in the southern sections of the park, while others are found in the northern section of the park. The one in Chongo is the most significant of all the waterfalls, and it's very important for tourists. Most tourists that come, especially to the northern sector of the park, visit the waterfalls in Chongo for recreation activities. The Museum of National History is another area where we keep the artifacts and some of these trophies that were found in the park or arrested from poachers. These artifacts are kept in the museum and are used for park interpretation and for other ecotourism activities. Next slide, please. Tourist facilities. Lodging facilities exist for visitors wishing to stay overnight. The hotel installed accommodation is about 50. 20 of these chalets are found in transit camp reception, while 20 chalets are at the Gashaka village camp, and 10 of these are found in the northern sector in Chongo. And these facilities are aimed at supporting hospitality, recreation, and for revenue generation. Next slide. Next, please. the tourist influx to the park from 2018 to 19. This table shows the number of tourists that visited the park from 2015 to 19. The largest number is from the students. Over 90% of the visitors to the park are students, while the other numbers are Nigerians and foreigners. The steady rise in the number of foreigners from 2017 to 19, if you look at the table, you'll see that from 2017 to 19, there's a steady rise in the number of students to the park. Then as well as the foreigners from 2017 to 19, you see the numbers from 8, 10 to 26, a steady rise in the numbers. But for Nigerian tourists, the numbers from 2017 has been decreasing. If you look at the graph there, it will show you that from 2017 to 19, the total population of tourists to the park is steadily increasing. So this is an indication that most of the tourists to the park are students. Then very few numbers of Nigerians as well as foreigners. Next slide. Next, please. Now the earnings from ecotourism from 2015 to 19. This number is just the earnings from ecotourism, that is for accommodation, catering services, and park entry. So you look at the numbers, you see that the numbers are not very encouraging. I think a total amount of 20 million was generated from 2015 to 19. And there's a steady increase in the number of the revenue that was realized in 2018. And this could be attributed to the commercial activities that were going on in 2018. So the revenue also is not very encouraging because the numbers from 2015 to 19 is just about 20 million. And this is basically from revenues from hotels, the accommodation, park entry, and then catering services. Next slide, please. Next, please. These are pictures of tourists in the park. Those you can see people ready to go for park viewing, and the picture above also shows some tourists in the park. Now the challenges. Insecurity. Insecurity is one of the major concerns of the park. In the general security situation in the region is such that there's a lot of news or information about insecurity in the northeastern part of the country. And then if you look at the figures, or if you hear from the news that we get, it's mostly about terrorist activities in the northeast. However, the park is safe. The park ensures that all visitors to the park are well catered for. The necessary securities are given. Rangers are now to follow these guests whenever they are going for patrols, for park viewing. Another problem of insecurity in the area also is that of cross-border banditry or criminality. Now, considering the common boundary the park shares with the Republic of Cameroon, definitely you expect some form of illegal movement of bandits or some people across these borders. And this is not to say
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Are you with me, please?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. As I was talking about the insecurity in the region, now I was saying that there's a lot of activities because of the common boundary that we share with the Republic of Cameroon. You definitely expect there will be some cross-border infiltration by bandits and some criminal elements. However, the park is doing a lot to ensure that these issues are handled. Tourists to the parks are given the necessary security when they are going for park viewing. Accessibility is another general problem in the country. Poor road networks to the parks is also another issue of concern. There are limited access tracks, bridges, and culverts, and this limited accessibility within the park makes park viewing very difficult. Most of the time you see tourists trekking. Most of the time they are seen trekking, and sometimes you find that most of the areas that you expect the tourists to reach, they will not be able to reach these areas because of these accessibility problems. The inadequate tourism infrastructure is also another challenge. Some of the facilities like communication, improved tourism facilities like airstrips, internet services, and the rest. So there's need for the park to really look into the issue of improving on the tourism infrastructure. The lack of electricity facilities. The whole of the town where these facilities are located lacks electricity. Facilities are not connected to the national grid. So what we do is to connect our facilities to our generation sets, and which is of course very expensive. Another problem is also that of inadequate manpower. The park has only about 244 staff to man the area of 6,700 square kilometers. It's not a small area. So the number is also the staff strength is also another issue. The presence of enclave communities, the exponential growth in the population of these 7 enclave communities. We have about 7 enclave communities, and these communities has been increasing in population at a very exponential rate. Now, because of this high rate in population, also there is also the anthropogenic activities associated with it. So the enclave communities in the park is a major issue that if this is not handled in the near future, then this population has the capacity of taking over much of these park areas. Low patronage. The low patronage also is a major challenge. As this suggests that there is underutilization of the park's resources. And if there is underutilization, this also means that, or it also translates that there is low revenue in the country. The park has been able to integrate, has been integrated into the security architecture of Tarawa State. Now, with this, the park is now a member of the State Security Council, where decisions or actions are taken on issues that affect the security of the state. So, by the park being in the Security Council, there is a lot of advantages that the park will be able to gain. Public-private partnership with ANI, the African Nature Inverters, is one of the recent NGOs that the park has been able to collaborate with. And a memorandum of understanding has been signed with ANI to offer technical and logistic support to the park. So the partnership is in progress, and so far, so good, we're making a lot of progress. Then the resuscitation of the local advisory committee, which is called the LAC, is another important area where stakeholders participate in the management of the park. So with this, with the engagement of the LAC, we have been able to improve the community park relationship, thereby ensuring that the conflict between the parks and the community is reduced to the barest minimum. Then we have been able to collaborate with sister agencies, especially with the police, the military, the civil defense, and even the local vigilante. We have been able to collaborate and form a strong synergy whereby we'll be able to work together to control most of these activities or illegal activities that has been happening in the park. Next slide. The way forward, what in the issue of funding, most of these challenges that I've mentioned earlier is linked to improved funding. If the funding is improved, definitely, most of these challenges that I mentioned earlier will be resolved. But however, there is need for the National Park Service to be adequately and to give, and for the National Park, for the federal government to release these resources timely so that the park will be able to carry out most of these activities that has to do with ecotourism and park-related activities. There's also the need to resuscitate some of these degraded grazing reserves. This is one of the reasons why there's also some conflict in the park. Most of these herdsmen that come from very far distances to the park during the dry season is because of lack of grazing areas from where they come. So if these grazing reserves are resuscitated, it is expected that some of these grazing reserves will serve the purpose of this herdsmen. Then the manpower development, there's need for to increase the manpower of the parks as well as to improve the capacity of the parks so that we will be able to carry out our duties effectively. And then the socio-economic empowerment of the host communities is very important. This can be done through entrepreneurship and provision of microfinance facilities as an alternative source of livelihood to reduce some of these anthropogenic pressures and to improve community relationship. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for wonderful presentation from Gashaka. Eventually, we connected to the mount. That's very great. And some things you said, I would like to take you on, but I will want to note it so you remember. How many waterfalls are there in Gashaka? 7, 10, 14, 18. We need to know that. We are taking account of all the waterfalls in Nigeria, so we want to know how many that are there. And you talked about primates. How many type of primates do you have there? We want to know. And what is the solution for the enclave communities that are within your park? We need a solution to that, something that we can highlight. So I thank you. We'll go to Calabar and Madam Caroline Olori, the first female to head any national park in any part of the world. So, Madam, we are coming to you. I hope Old Oyo is ready. We don't have you on, so please sign on and let us know. Send a message so we can track you. Madam, it's your turn now. I was in your park in December with the Carnival Calabar people and the CG. It was fun being in your place. So can you share with us?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Kechi. I hope I'm on now.
Yes, you are, madam.
Okay, my name once again is Caroline Samuel Olori, the conservator of Cross River National Park and the very first female conservator of park in not only in Nigeria and West Africa, courtesy of our gender inclusive conservator general, Dr. Ibrahim Musa Goni and his team. It's a pleasure being in this forum, and I really want to join my CG to appreciate you, the organizers. Of a truth, I want to re-echo when my CG says it is a way forward for domestic tourism in Nigeria, strengthening domestic tourism. Now, Cross River National Park, as we all, thank God you have visited our park. If the slide is on, we just try to define ecotourism, which you know better than I do. And so I will just keep that slide and go to the background of what is Cross River National Park. It was established primarily for the purpose of protecting the remaining 10% of the tropical rainforest in Nigeria. having already lost over 90% of the original forest due to poor land use. The park is located in Cross River State. Thank God you have visited. It lies in the extreme southeastern corner of Nigeria and borders with Cameroon. It is mostly a tropical rainforest vegetation, which thins out progressively to the mountain savanna vegetation at the edge of the Budu Cattle Ranch. I hope you have been there. The Cross River National Park exists in two non-contiguous sectors, the urban division, you have been here, and the Okwangwa division. Now, Cross River National Park is reputed as the richest part of Nigeria's biodiversity. It's one of the 25 IUCN biodiversity hotspots in the world. It is one of the oldest forests in Africa and a home to over 2,500 plants and animal species. Of course, Cross River National Park is recognized as an important bird area. So those that love bird watching, you are welcome to Cross River. The urban hills, rolling urban hills, which is part of Cross River National Park, has been proposed as a World Heritage Site. Now, primate species, out of the 23 primate species that are known to occur in Nigeria, more than 18 species of them occur in Cross River National Park. This representing 78% of the total number recorded in Nigeria. This, of course, includes our Cross River gorilla. This gorilla species is the only subspecies in sub-Saharan Africa. We have other species that are of very importance, which are the chimpanzees, drill baboons, red colobos, forest elephants, forest buffaloes, and several other iconic species. About 90% of all Nigerian butterflies and 33% of all butterflies of continental sub-Saharan Africa are said to be found in Cross River National Park. This courtesy Toban Larson, 1995, and late Obot et al., 1996. Cross River National Park has over 1,545 reptiles, like we know, and Cystocladus corrupens in chest, said to become
Madam, unmute yourself. We can't hear you again. Unmute yourself.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I got to the slide of ecotourism. I hope we follow.
Yeah, we followed you.
To this level.
You stopped at where you have 1,580.
Hello? Our potentials, our butterfly species, our plant species.
Yeah, that's
of course, the aquatic resources are very prominent. Ecotourism of Cross River National Park. Aside from this national park being a natural home to iconic species, it is also crisscrossed by Can I continue?
Go ahead.
Can I continue? Okay. Yeah. We said the park is also crisscrossed by several water bodies. We have the Kwa, you couldn't reach Kwa River. We'll get there when next you are coming. Ikpan River, Bemi, Okpon, the River Cross, and a host of other streams. The water bodies, of course, are ideal for boating, swimming, sport fishing. The urban hills, the rolling hills of the urban hills, provide an opportunity for adventure tourists who want to go mountaineering and other height-related activities. Other avenues, of course, we have the caves. We have a cave in Nere, in Erokot, and other campsites and natural beaches. Nature trails, jeep tracks, are available, even a limited number and length, to visitors who want to enjoy experience. The serene disposition of this emerald rainforest and its natural tranquility, we know, have a huge therapeutic benefit to tourists. The destination to go is Cross River National Park. Cross River, the opportunity we have is located about 60 kilometers from Calabar. Now, thank God your visit came as offshoot from the Calabar Carnival. The state capital is not too far from there. Just approximately 60 kilometers from Calabar is the Ecotourism camp. Simple lodging facilities are available along with catering services for visitors at all times. The rich cultural manifestations, the arts and crafts, the cuisines, the dances surrounding our local community, they all add up to the unique ecotourism offerings of Cross River National Park. Ecotourism, we all know, helps in saving the rainforest, and that is why we are here. Now, some of those species you are seeing there are very unique species. Yes, I want to mention this Cross River gorilla. If you see one of those slides, it is a welcoming thing. This courtesy of WCS Wildlife Conservation Society, we collaborate with them. These photos are courtesy them in camera traps in the park. You can see that the gorilla populations are increasing, and it is a wonderful tourist that we can together develop. Those are species you can find in the park. And we have benefits of ecotourism. Of course, we know Cross River, we have accommodating people, we have cuisines, we have our cultures, and increases our conservation. That cuts across, not too different from each other. The challenge of Cross River patrol
We've lost her, but we'll share some of those pictures with you and every other thing you need to know about that park. I was there in December with the Calabar Carnival people, the national president of the tour operators and the CG. It was an amazing experience, and it's not too far from Calabar. So anytime you are in Calabar, you know Cross River is rich with so much to see. That's why most people, they go to Kwa Falls, they go to Apokim, Obudu. Most people don't walk into this park. This park is amazing, and it has its own waterfalls. You can see Ebele the Queen, and you can see me there. Ouch! See my belly, see my third pot belly there. That's me with Hope, with Cross River Tourism Bureau, Charles, and the CG, and Madame herself. I can see you, Ebele. So that was when we were there in December as part of the dry run for Calabar Carnival. So if you're ever in Calabar, go pay Madame a visit. She will give you fantastic tour. They even participated in the carnival. Hopefully, the next carnival, there will be a band for the national park. And those people are going to showcase all you have. It is a beautiful place, and the biggest, the oldest rainforest, the richest of them, with every kind of animal. And I had no issue while we were there. So we will go straight to Old Oyo from Calabar, and yes, Old Oyo. Is he on? Is Madam back? You know, I told you, Madam, unmute so that you can round up. The first female to head a national park in West Africa.
Okay, I am.
Okay, go ahead. Complete.
Okay, I want to give you the conclusion that from the foregoing, given the array of its natural assets, from the biological to the geomorphological, of course, the magnificent Obudu Mountains and resorts, which rises up to 1,500 meters above sea level. The scenic urban hills, I know you have visited, the large tropical rainforest, combined with its aquatic splendor, an illuminating cultural environment, when taken along with a hospitable people that you know, Cross River National Park sure remains a veritable destination for different categories of visitors, including you and you and you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam. And I know some of the tour operators had planned. I know Ifoma and I think Annie, some other people are planning to do more tours to your park. Part of what we want to achieve in the Seven Wonders thing is to connect this attraction to the tour operators, to the travel agents, to the professionals. And you coming on today and they are getting to know you, we build a relationship so each one of them can plan tours. The first thing I want is that by December 2021, anybody that calls himself a tour operator in Nigeria should have visited at least 1 or 2 national parks. Don't just tell me you're a tour operator and you have not been to any national park in Nigeria. You've seen the Madam in Cross River, you've seen Gashaka Gumti, you've seen, we are going to Old Oyo, you've seen the Abuja National Park. You need to visit at least one national park in the next 12 months. Put it on your bucket list. Make it a must-see. For you to qualify as a tour operator in Nigeria, you must have visited at least one national park. I'm not saying visit all 6. So if you have not visited any tourism or any national park in Nigeria, you do not qualify to be a tour operator. Going forward, I'll forgive you for your sins of the past. And Madam Tinuke is eating. I'll forgive you for the sins of the past, but going forward, if you call yourself a tour operator and you are a Nigerian, you must have visited at least one national park. Do we have a Old Oyo National Park? Please identify yourself now. Raise your hand, so that we can see you. Old Oyo, identify yourself. Okay, while we are waiting for you to come on, please, why don't you sit back and enjoy some of our clips.
I'm in love. I'm in love, man. I'm pulling you back, people. Come on. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we about to take you to the streets. Make some noise. Sit up, party people. One check, come on, give me the vibe. Come on, what the dance, Let's check, come on, what? I can't see the vibe, now. Give me the dance, Okay, one.
Okay, that was Bella Maria and Co. having the boat cruise on Independence Day on the Lagos Lagoon. You know, now Lagos people are having fun. Abuja, you started it. Lagos has responded and they've come with full fire. So we are going to Old Oyo National Park. Okay, sir, you're on.
Thank you very much, Ikechi. First of all, I would like to appreciate the Conservator General National Park Service for making it possible for me to participate in this program. I would like to appreciate yourself, Ikechi, and Akwaba for putting together this program. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. That is what we say as paramilitary officers. A lot has been said about the establishment of the parks. So I'll go straight to Oloyo National Park. Oloyo National Park is one of the most unique national parks in the country because it provides the tourists the dual prospects of both ecological and cultural, historical tourism. The park, as you know, is one of the 7 national parks in the country. It is located in Oyo and Kwara states, Southwest and North Central, respectively. It covers an area of about 2,512 square kilometers, spanning across 10 local government areas and 115 communities. The park is the 4th largest national park in the country. The head office at Oyo is strategically located and is approximately 300 kilometers from Lagos, 45 kilometers from Ibadan, 105 kilometers from Ilorin, 660 kilometers from Abuja and from Kaduna, and 910 kilometers from Kano. The park has a network of fairly tar roads surrounding it, making it possible to reach all the ranges with relative ease. Visitors from the southeastern part of Nigeria and Lagos can travel through Ibadan Iseyin Secretary to enter the park through Ajaku Gate. Visitors from Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano axis can travel through Ilorin Igbeti route to enter the park through the Tesi Garuba and Tesi Akpata gates. For those coming from the Bogu Emirates, they can travel through Kayama, Kishi, and enter the park through the Alagutan gate. Those coming from the Benin Republic can travel through Igboho to enter the park at Alagutan gate. The park is endowed with a lot of with rich fauna and flora resources. Prominent among them includes the roan antelope, the western hartebeest, the carp, the red flank duiker, primates, and a host of bird life. You can see the pictures there. Like I said earlier on, we also have the highest concentration of cultural artifacts from the ancient Oyo Empire. This empire was actually one of the foremost empires in the forest and coastal region of West Africa, which reached its peak between the 17th and 18th century. Some of the relics we have include 4 concentric defense walls around the former ancient city, which protected the city from a foreign invasion. We have the Mejiro industrial site. The Oyo people were very industrious, and so they had sites where they were doing iron forgery, grain milling, and blacksmithing. We also have a large water reservoir for dry season utilization of water. We have the Esu and Ogun Shrine, the Alafin Palace, the Great Agbaku Cave, which also served as a fortress against foreign invasion. You can see the pictures there. Other cultural sites include the Royal Cemetery at Igboho and Bara, the Antete Shrine at Ikoele, a pot containing honey, which was used to sting enemies of Ikoele to death during tribal wars. It is purported that the port is still active today. We have the Asabara Shrine, the Buya Pool, a pool of river Ogun in the park. It was believed to cure various ailments when a patient takes his or her bath in the pool on Fridays. We also have the Yemoso Ridge, the Yemoso Hill, with a lion den at its base. The Oyo people, have a lot of cultural festivals. These festivals include the Orion Festival, which is usually celebrated in September, the World Sango Festival, celebrated in August, the Oro Festival, also celebrated in May and June, and a host of others. The park has several facilities for conferencing and events. This includes a multi-purpose hall, activity centers at the head office and in Koele. We also have an animal orphanage. We have well-maintained nature trails and jeep tracks. In terms of accommodation, the park has standard accommodation complete with potable water, electricity, and satellite television at Akoto Base Camp. This includes 10-number VIP suites, 8 numbers executive chalets, student hostels, 60 capacity bed space, camping ground with tents, standard rooms, restaurants, sitting space, bar, indoor games, and a swimming pool. Our tariffs are affordable. As you can see them, please display the tariff on the screen. We also have some challenges, which, although they have been mentioned, but I would like to quickly rush through them. Some of the challenges militating against tourism, ecotourism in the park includes a poor road network to the park and into the park, low income and zeal of Nigerians in leisure and tourism, poor quality of tourism infrastructure, poor self-tourist location, underdeveloped, poor management or underutilization and mismanagement of tourist resources. General insecurity. A lot of you must have heard that last month, there were cases of bandits around Kishi area and also the Oloyo National Park. But the park is partnering with other security agencies, the army, the police, and the civil defense, and even local vigilante. And as I talk with you, the situation is under control. A lot of the bandits have been neutralized and arrested, and they are being prosecuted. Another challenge is lack of private sector participation in the ecotourism industry. Government cannot facilitate ecotourism alone. So we need the private sector to come in and assist government in developing ecotourism within our national parks. In conclusion, I would like to say that the tourism industry in Nigeria lacks sustainable awareness of its potentials, though most ecotourism are seasonal in nature, but can still be sustained with more commitment. As it is known worldwide, most ecotourism parks face problem of exploitation of natural resources, but with more advocacy through conservation education, and private sector participation, progress can still be made towards foreign exchange generation for the benefit of the entire nation and its citizenry. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
That was very, very smooth, and I need to thank you. I read in the paper, we actually published it on ATQ News, about the people arrested near Igbeti and who were the bandits in your park, and I saw that they were arrested and they were being tried. So I know that things are in place. Dr. Dejuwon talked about the cultural strength of your park. The famous Oyo Empire. Everything happened in your park. It happened in that neighborhood. So students of Yoruba history, people who want to know what happened about the old and laughing palace, where all this, the information can be found. The information can be found at Old or your practical pictures. So you can get the slides he's presenting from ATQ News, and from Niger7wonders.com. So everything that was presented today, you're going to get it either at ATQ News or Niger7wonders.com. So I thank you, sir, for being with us today. But I also want to make an appeal. Tour operators are not government agencies. They are private people who want to do business, who want to make money, who want to pay bills. They also want to grow the country. So when they want to bring tourists to your place, they need some kind of partnership with you. They need to make money to bring tourists. If people go to Dubai because they make money selling Dubai, people go to South Africa because they make money going to South Africa. So there needs to be a relationship of some kind with the national parks, each one of you individually, so that these people can do tours. Eri Ijesha in Osun, Idere Hills in Oyo, which is like 60 kilometers less from your place. So people coming to Ibadan, people going to Eri Ijesha, people going to Kwara, they can do a detour to the park. That is the only national park they have in the Southwest. So we want this collaboration to continue from today. It doesn't end now. There has to be a continuous communication between the two parties, the private sector and the National Park Services, so that we can grow tourism in Nigeria together. If you sit in your place and you wait for the tour operators to come, they are not likely to come because people come to them. So, but they are doing this out of patriotic reason. I promise you on the behalf of tour operators that people will visit our national parks. If you are in Abuja, you have 2 or 3 national parks near you. If you are in Lagos, there's a national park near you. If you are in the Southeast, there's a national park near you. If you're in the Northwest, there's a national park near you. If you're in the Northeast, there's a national park near you. So you cannot deny. And now we are hunting for waterfalls. There are waterfalls everywhere in the national parks. So please make it a point of duty to visit one of our national parks. We have dragged on, but please, if you have a question, can you type it now so they can answer quickly and we can sign off. We have stayed 2 hours. So I need us to complete today. And if you have questions, type your questions under. And if you need access to the slides, info@niger7wonders.com. So they are going to write our website now, niger7wonders.com, and Aquaba and ATQ News. So please follow us so you can know what is going on in this country. If you need to get any information on travel and tourism, the biggest travel news website in Africa is www.atqnews.com. It's the biggest in the continent, the first and the biggest travel news website. And if you want any information on tourism in Nigeria, Niger7 Wonders will have all the information that you need. So any other question? I say Yuba said we have answered this question. So okay, please, if you want to know about PPP, you could contact the National Park Services in Abuja on Airport Road. You could write to them and they will respond to you. My big friend Geminiwa Emmanuel is here, and good to see you, sir. I remember how we arranged the initial visit to Old Oyo National Park. So I like how the National Park has nurtured people over the time, and these guys know everything about tourism. We like to believe that people in government don't know tourism, but in the National Park, they really do, and you have seen evidence today. So if you have any other question, please write your questions so that we can quickly go. Or if there's somebody that has a question, okay, dossier about the challenges. Yeah, it's good we are bringing out all the challenges that's about this, and it's our job to present it to the government. You know, when government staff talk to government, they might not take them serious, but if we talk, you heard today that the IG has banned SARS doing checkpoints. It's because the public took it up and end SARS, the IG responded. So if we don't take up these challenges the national parks are having and present it in public place, nobody is going to listen to them. It is our own interest that we present these things. I'm taking the questions, yeah, that we present these things to them. Okay, National Park is still working on the reenactment document of the old Oyo archaeological site. And I think that site is also good for the World Heritage Site. Oyo is the biggest of all the Yoruba empires, and the National Park, Oyo, Old Oyo, is where everything happened. So, Geminiwa, Prince, thank you for that. You're a prince and you're a doctor. And I know you're a lovely person. Thank you. And if there is any other question, please go again. Okay, the revenue profile of Old Oyo National Park. I think it should be in the slide. We are going to share all the slides with the media. And in the next 20 minutes, we are going to share all the slides with the media. Then we'll share on our platforms and it will be on the website. So while we feast on what they have shared with us today, I want to sign off by showing you clips of some of the things that happened over the weekend. And you join us in 14 days' time. We will come back again. Niger 7 Wonder Zoom will be twice a month. It will not be every week because next week, Friday, we are having Wonders of Africa Zoom. We'll visit Africa this Friday, then the other week we'll visit Nigeria. So this Friday, we are having the Wonders of Africa Zoom. We are going to Equatorial Guinea, we are going to Mozambique, and we are going to Angola. We are going to the Portuguese-speaking parts of Africa. Then in 2 weeks' time, we will visit all the tourism schools in Nigeria. If you own a tourism training institution, an aviation school, people send me messages and ask me, where can we go to get training if I want to be a tour operator or a travel agent or something? So if you run a travel school, if you run a tourism school, please get across to us because in 2 weeks' time, we are going to show a special spotlight on tourism training in Nigeria. So we have done national parks now. In 2 weeks' time, we are going to take on tourism training. We are going to showcase all the tourism schools. So people have been bombarding me with messages, inboxes, DMs. Please don't ask me alone now. Let us present to Nigerians the places you can get trained. So thank you for being part of us. Any more questions you can send to us forward to National Park. So till I see you again on Friday next week, 3 p.m. on Friday, we are going back to Friday. Why don't you sit back and have some fun on some of the things that had happened last week. World Tourism Day, Nigeria at 60. Thank you. No, there will be another Zoom link. We are going to share the Zoom link for next week. That is for Africa. And we are going to give you a link. So follow us on any of the social media. You can like Niger 7 Wonders in Instagram, 7 Wonders on Facebook. You can follow me, my pages, and we can share those links for next week and the subsequent weeks. It will be every Friday for the next 4 months, just like we did from 1st of June. Every Friday, we'll have a Zoom conference, 3 p.m. with our people. So please follow us so you can know. Thank you.
Crazy, man.
Let's go there. Let's go, yeah.